what's the first thing we should look at here? What's the first thing we need to simplify in this question?
The first bracket.
Right, so we need to simplify what's going on inside here. So what can we do with this 0.75?
Turn it into a fraction.
Good. So we
which turns into 3/4.
Good, so we have 5 over 2 divided by 3 over 4. Once we simplify that, all of that is going to be to the power of 2.
Yep.
And we're leaving the rest of it right now, so we're just going to rewrite it. Okay. And now we're going to divide fractions. So how do we divide two fractions? How do we divide fractions?
You have to flip the...
We're basically multiplying by the reciprocal. So when you flip it, it's called the reciprocal. So we leave the first fraction, 5 over 2, and then we're multiplying by the reciprocal. So what is 3 over 4 as a reciprocal?
4 over 3.
Good. And all of that to the power of 2. And again, I'm just going to rewrite the rest of... Oops. Sorry.
Oh.
1 1/4. So when we multiply fractions, we multiply the numerator by the numerator. So 5 times 4, which is 20. Good. And then over 2 times 3, which is 6.
Well,
and all that to the power of 2.
Yep.
So you decided to do this in lowest terms, so I'm just going to rewrite it. 20 over 6 in lowest terms would be 10 over 3. So we'll just do that. 10 over 3 and all of that to the power of 2. And again, we're going to write the rest of the sentence.
So
10 over 3 to the power of 2, what does that mean?
You would...
Okay, so it's everything inside the bracket to the power of 2. So it's 10 to the power of 2 and it's 3 to the power of 2 because they're both inside the bracket. So what's 10 to the power of 2? What does that mean?
It would be 10 times 10.
Good, which is?
Which is 100.
Good. And then 3 to the power of 2 would be?
Would be 9.
Good. So 100 over 9 times 0.1 minus negative 1 1/4 times negative 8 over 9. So we have two sets of multiplication. I'm just going to put brackets around them. We have 100 over 9 times 0.1, and then we have a subtraction symbol, which we know doesn't come before multiplication. Whatever the answer is to the first multiplication part of it, we would take it away, we would take this away from it. This is another multiplication operation there, right? Because there's brackets. So it doesn't matter which one we do first. You want to just start in order from left to right. So because we are dealing with fractions here, we're going to convert this 0.1 into a fraction, which would be what?
1 over 10.
Good. Okay, and we still know that we need to multiply these together and then subtract the answer to this part. Okay, we'll do that after. We can do it in the same step. So let's simplify this. What's 100 over 9 times 1 over 10? So that would be, in lowest terms, it would be 10 over 9. Good. Now, let's do this part of the question now. So we have an improper fraction. We need to multiply these two fractions together. So what would you do with the improper fraction? I meant to say mixed number. Sorry, the mixed number, not an improper fraction. Sorry, the mixed number, yeah.
Fraction.
It's going to turn into an improper fraction, right?
So
I'm glad you were able to recognize that this negative sign right here does not mean that I'm doing 4 times negative 1 and then adding 1. The negative means that the fraction is negative.
Yeah.
Good, because that's a very common mistake that people make. So we're doing 4 times 1, which is 4, and then we're adding 1, which is what?
Which is
5 over 4. So the improper fraction is negative 5 over 4. Good. Really important to just separate the negative, because this is just indicating that whatever the fraction is, it's a negative fraction. If we were to do 4 times negative 1 and then add a 1, we wouldn't get 5 over 4. We'd get a different answer, right? Okay, all of that multiplied by negative 8 over 9. Okay, so right now we know that we're multiplying two negatives.
So then it becomes a positive.
We know our answer is going to be positive, but this still stays here, right?
Yeah.
Because we're subtracting whatever the answer is. So 5 times 8.
It's 40.
And 9 times 4.
36.
Good. So now we're down to the last step. We have fractions that we're subtracting. We have 10 over 9, take away 40 over 36. And what do we need to do to subtract these fractions?
Well, Can't I simplify?
Okay, so that was a very smart idea. We're going to simplify this fraction, put it in lowest terms. So you divided by 4, divided by 4. This is a quicker way to do it. So we have 10 over 9, take away
10 over 9.
10 over 9.
Which gives you just 1 over 9.
10 over 9 divided by 10 over 9 equals 0. Because if I have 10 ninths and I take 10 ninths away, I have nothing left.